Okay, Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. Hi guys. Okay, now I want to show you how to solve the limiting reactant problem. Okay, let's say if you are given the equation of 5 gram of sodium reacted with 5 gram of oxygen produce 5.38 gram of sodium oxide. So you need to calculate the theoretical yield, the mass of excess reactant left over, and also the percent yield. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is you must write your chemical equation and must remember your chemical equation should be balanced. Okay, let's say we have sodium solid react with oxygen gas. So your oxygen gas must in the form of O2, tak wujud sebagai O saja. Alright. Okay, so to form Na2O solid. Okay, so you need to balance your chemical equation first. So we have O2, 2 atom of oxygen at the left hand side, 1 atom of oxygen at the right hand side. Okay, so you have to multiply by 2 in order to get the same number of atom at the both side. Okay, so at the product, so we have 4 atom of sodium. So 4. So you need to multiply by 4. Darabkan dengan 4 dekat sodium. So sekarang ni kita dah dapatkan balance chemical equation. So information given is 5 gram sodium react with 5 gram of oxygen produce 5.38 gram of sodium oxide. So 5.38 gram of sodium oxide we call it as a actual yield. It is a mass of product formed from the experimented. Okay, so sekarang ni kita nak kira theoretical yield. So theoretical yield is the mass of product formed from the chemical equation ataupun from the theoretical, okay, or from the calculation. Alright, so okay. So you need to identify first what is limiting reactant in order to calculate the mass of product ataupun you need to calculate the mass of sodium oxide. Okay, so limiting reactant is the reactant that completely react ataupun completely used during the reaction. Okay, maknanya dah habis guna dah tak ada balance pun. Okay, so the other one we call it as a excess reactant. So excess reactant yang tinggal during the reaction, maknanya dia react tapi dia akan ada yang tinggal, ada baki. Alright, so in order untuk you nak calculate the mass of product, identify dulu the limiting reactant. Okay, so you need to calculate the number of mole of product form daripada each of limiting reactant. Okay, maknanya daripada sodium to form sodium oxide, daripada oxygen to form sodium oxide, and you need to compare the one that give the smallest number of mole of product, itulah limiting reactant. Yang dah habis guna dah. Alright, okay, so in order to nak calculate the number of mole of product, so from the chemical equation you can use the mole to mole ratio. Okay, so okay, ni I dah buat untuk you step by step dan I dah share dekat Google Classroom, so you may refer to Google Classroom. Alright, okay, so kita nak calculate the number of mole of sodium daripada sodium oxide from the sodium. Okay, mass mole of sodium divided by the mass 5 gram divided by 23 gram the molar mass of sodium. So you got 0.2174 mole of sodium. Okay, so from the chemical equation, 4 mole of sodium will produce 2 mole of sodium oxide. Let's say if you have already calculated 0.2174 mole of sodium, how many mole of sodium oxide produce? Okay, so this one you can cancel. Alright, so you got 0.1087 mole of sodium oxide. Ini daripada sodium. Alright, so next we calculate from the oxygen. Okay, so you calculate the mole of product or mole of sodium oxide form daripada oxygen. So mass divided by molar mass of oxygen, you got the number of mole of oxygen, which is 0.1563 mole of oxygen. Okay, from the chemical equation, we know that 1 mole of oxygen produce 2 mole of sodium oxide. Alright, so if you already calculate the mole of oxygen, how many mole of sodium oxide form daripada oxygen? So you may cancel oxygen. So you only got this is Na2O. Alright, so you got the mole of sodium oxide form daripada oxygen. Alright, so sekarang ni you nak determine which one is limiting reactant. So you compare mole of product yang paling kecil. The smallest number of mole of product form daripada reactant tu adalah kita punya limiting reactant. So yang kecil ni. Alright, ni. 0.1087 mole of sodium oxide if you compare with this number of mole of sodium oxide daripada oxygen. So our limiting reactant adalah ni. Kita punya limiting reactant adalah sodium. Okay. So kalau question, you need to identify the limiting reactant. Okay, tulis limiting reactant is sodium. Jangan hanya buat calculation saja. There will be a marks for the limiting reactant. Alright. Okay. So sekarang ni you want to calculate. Okay, our question tadi adalah calculate the theoretical yield. Alright, so you need to calculate theoretical yield. So theoretical yield adalah mass of product from the limiting reactant. Okay, so kita dah calculate the mole of product. Okay, so nak kira the mass of product is the number of mole darabkan dengan molar mass. So you got the mass of product, which is 6.74 times gram of sodium oxide. So this one adalah kita punya theoretical yield. Okay, so the next question is you want to calculate the mass of excess reactant left over. Okay, so you dah identify limiting reactant adalah sodium. So excess reactant adalah oxygen. So the other one will be excess reactant. So kita nak kira berapa banyak mass of oxygen yang tinggal. Okay, ataupun yang unreacted, yang tak react. Okay, so dia react dengan sodium tapi dia ada baki yang tinggal. Yang tu kita nak kira, baki tu. Alright, so okay, so to calculate the mass of what we call this, the mass of excess yang tinggal. Okay, so you calculate dulu mole of excess yang tinggal. Alright, so mole of excess left, okay, is equal to mole of O2 available minus mole of O2 reacted. Tu yang tinggal. Yang ada during the reaction, okay, tolakkan dengan mole yang react. Okay, itu yang tinggal. So mole of available, okay, yang diberi, okay, mass divided by molar mass. So you got this is the number of mole of O2 yang available. Alright, so you want to calculate mole of O2 reacted. Okay, so mole of O2 reacted, okay, it is based on the limiting reactant yang react. Okay, so from the chemical equation, 4 mole of Na akan react dengan 1 mole of O2. Alright, so kalau kita ada 0.2174 mole Na yang reacted. Okay, so this one yang reacted sebab kita based on limiting reactant. Okay, how many mole of O2 yang react? Okay, based on the relationship of 4 mole of Na react dengan 1 mole of O2. So, you calculate, so you akan dapat 0.0544 mole O2 reacted. Okay, so you tolakkan mole of available, yang tadi ni mole available, tolakkan dengan mole of reacted, so you got mole yang tinggal, mole of O2 yang tinggal. Okay, darabkan dengan dia punya molar mass, so you will got the mass of O2 left over during the chemical equation, during the reaction. So, ini adalah yang remain ataupun unreacted. Okay, ataupun left over during the reaction. Okay, kadang-kadang ada soalan minta calculate how many mass of, calculate mass of remaining excess reactant. Inilah. Okay, remain ke, unreacted ke, leftover ke, ni samalah. Alright. So, next, you want to calculate the percent yield. Okay, tadi dah kira theoretical yield, actual are given. So, masuk je dalam formula percent yield equal to actual divided by theoretical yield times 100%. So, you will got 79.8% times 79.8%. Okay, so ini adalah kita punya percent yield. Okay, percent yield. Alright. Okay, so that's all from me. Okay, thank you guys.